It's my fourth. uh, no, I mean I'm excited, but the excitement level is the same in terms of getting ready for the season. You're excited to move past training camp, had a good training camp, and now get into the nuts and bolts of the season. So that's probably what's most exciting.
Are you going upstairs?
Yes.
What do you like about that?
Say again?
What do you like about being upstairs versus down?
I think they both have their strengths and weaknesses. I like the fact that I can control more of the things. I can see, all 22. I can see what I need to see. And now with the communication being able to communicate with the signal caller on the field, that makes it much easier than it was, a few years back.
What are your biggest curiosities in terms of seeing how the McVay-Stafford union comes together for the first time?
What am I curious about?
Yeah.
I think it's a good question because I think the McVay system is going to be the system, and they're going to have a lot of new wrinkles with Matt, and I guess that is how they incorporate Matt into that. But Matt's a stud. He's one of the top quarterbacks in this league. He's been one of the top quarterbacks in this league, and obviously he's going with one of the top offensive minds in the league. So I think that'll be fun for them. I'm sure that they're enjoying it, and we're excited for that challenge.
So, Sean, how do you balance watching Matt with the Lions last year and watching the Rams offense?
With time, I mean, you gotta watch both. You got to watch both, and fortunately, it's good for us to be facing them week one because we got a lot of time to be able to do that into the off season and everything. So. We're preparing just as we normally would and balancing, like you said, the amount of volume that we watch. And there's going to be layers of both things that we see that's going to show up on game day.
So as you line up your call sheet with coverages, you have to project how you think Stafford will react in the Rams, depending on the call that the Rams make?
Yeah, we ain't going to get into scheme stuff, but, we built our identity on what we want to be. And so that the core of who we want to be coverage-wise and stuff is going to be the core of who we want to be.
How much of is it like the new wrinkles that you were talking about with McVay and things for Matthew, but also the fact that he is who he is? Like a quarterback at that level in his career, he's there may be new schemes and new plays and things like that, but you can kind of know that he is who he is at this point, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a dynamic player who can change the game at a moment's notice, and he plays well under pressure, and he plays well in primetime games. So he's got great arm strength and great ability to see the field and manipulate coverages. So all that stuff, I think you hit it right in the head. That stuff's not going to change because that's who he is.
How important is it for you to be good at chess and thinking on the spot and matching up with the other side? Is that an unknown factor for you as far as calling plays in a game, and how important is it to be good at it?
Well, I've got some good practice at chess because I play with my kids. So that's been a benefit for me. But that's always part of the game, right? Whether you're a position coach and you're helping the coordinator and the play caller see what you're seeing in the game, and then now as a play caller, you got to continually stay on top of it. And I think that's a strength of mine. And we're going to see how it tests out on game day. But I think a strength of mine is to be able to see the game up top.
I know we've emphasized the Fangio factor, but is that something? I mean, he was good at that. That's his reputation. Is that learn anything that he did that you will be able to use or will help you?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, you're spending a lot of time with the guy. I sure hope some of the stuff that he's done well, I can incorporate into my own plan as we go, and we'll do the best that we can. But I'm going to play to my strengths as best as we can.
This will be the fourth straight year that you see
The McVay offense. What have you learned over time about their play-action game and kind of the strain that it puts on you?
Yeah, they do a great job to really trying to manipulate eyes, at all levels of the defense, from the D-line to the OBs, ILBs, and the DBs. They do a good job of manipulating eyes and finding some soft spots and zones, and then a lot of their route variations are harder in mans. So, it's a well-thought-out plan, and it's a good challenge for us, and we're excited to take it on.
Sean, how would you assess the summer that Khalil had, and kind of how eager are you to try to turn him loose Sunday night?
That Khalil had?
Khalil Mack, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's at a really good training camp, and I think he's been really working hard at the things he wanted to work hard at and the things that we as a staff want him to work hard at, and he's really bought in. He's such a pleasure to work with. He's a pro's pro, and he does everything that you want him to do, and he's been real communicative with myself and Coach Shuey, and the relationships there has been great.
Is there a noticeable difference that obviously he's healthy this year as opposed to having some, the lingering shoulder problem last year? Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think the length of the season will tell us all that stuff. I mean, like he's been out there and he's been healthy and he's been great, and so we like where he's at now.
Sean, obviously, as an extension of that, one of your greater responsibilities, maybe it's one of the easier chores, is trying to get Khalil's fullest potential unlocked. What gives you confidence that you have answers for getting that out of him this year?
Yeah, and I think that question, quite frankly, I would relate to everybody on the defense. That's the challenge, right? As a coordinator and really as coaches, is to try to get all of our players' potentials unlocked to the maximum of their ability, and we've got to be creative in the ways that we try to do that, and the players got to trust our process in trying to do that within the scheme.
When Eddie Golden got here, even Matt had said he hadn't really talked to him, and how did you see his development in the last 5
It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. He came back in shape, mentally in shape, and physically in shape. And you guys all saw in preseason 3 when he played. He can still be an X factor when he's in there in the game for the limited reps that he was there. So it was fun to see. It was fun to see, and I know he was excited to be back and practice and kind of going through the meetings and all that. So that's always nice to be around.
Eddie Jackson said yesterday that relative to his standards, he said he had a bad year last year, and he emphasized tackling. What was it about his tackling last year that he fell short, and what has he done in this training camp to make it better?
I think him and everybody, we've had a real big emphasis on tackling and really the techniques that we want to teach in tackling, and it starts with closing the distance, and bringing your feet and keeping your head out of it, trying to get chest to chest on tackles and making sure that you're not dipping your head or turning your head at the point of contact. And I think that's probably a uniform statement for everybody, including him, that you just got to get closer to the guy as fast as you can. It's a speed game, and if there's space between you and your opponent, the odds are the opponent wins oftentimes. So we got to try to eliminate the space as fast as we can.
Is that something that you recognized early on in this camp, and for everybody to get back to that, to tackling well, or was it Eddie Jackson?
No, I think it's everybody. It's everybody, and that's part of it's part of what we are going to try to pride ourselves on, is being a really good tackling team. And so that's been a point of emphasis for everybody.
Sean, as you guys talk about watching Stafford in Detroit and McVay's offense, I'm curious, I wonder in LA if they're watching Vic Fangio's defense from 2018 with you coming up. How do you keep maybe the unknowns of what you're going to do strength, especially in the early going here?
I'm not really worried, quite frankly, about what they're trying to watch. We got our hands full of what we're trying to prepare for and what we're trying to do. And so that's been our biggest adjustment and balance, is just making sure our guys stay focused on us and the techniques and the fundamentals that we want to be able to see on tape. We want to, like I told you guys back when I got hired, we want to be able to hang our hat on certain things. And it starts with techniques, fundamentals, tackling, finishing. And so we're going to try to be able to, hopefully we're going to see. I think the preseason was a pretty good start to it. Obviously it's still the preseason, and the brand isn't fully developed yet, and it won't be fully developed on Sunday night. It's going to be a work in progress, but we're excited to where the guys are buying into that.
Sean, where's your confidence in a young defensive back unit, and what do you hope to see from them on Sunday?
Where's my confidence in them, you said? Yeah. The confidence is in the process. They've been out there with us for the last 4 months, from OTAs into training camp, and they've gotten a lot of reps, and they're learning and growing every day in terms of what we want out of those positions. And so I think the good thing about being young in this league is sometimes your memory is short too. And so they're going to go out there and compete and give us the best of their abilities. And quite frankly, what else do you want? Somebody asked the question before. You want to try to unleash the maximum potential of all your players. And so they're in a position where they'll be able to do that.
What do you like about how Jalen has taken more of a responsibility on himself? And he told us he wasn't happy with how he played last year, despite some good underlying numbers, not having any interceptions. Obviously, weighed on him too.
Yeah, I think he's growing every day as a leader in that room. And he's a younger player, but he's approaching the game and his daily business every day in the right mindset. And I think people see that. His peers see that. The older guys see that. The other guys in that room that are leaders in the room see that. And so he's trying to carve out his own niche to become a leader in that room, and he's doing it.
How critical is the nickel against McVay's offense, and does it matter? Is that a big decision for you? Who plays that? Or does it Can you say who's going to be playing that position Sunday?
Now, we'll see in a short time anyways who's going to play that. But how critical is a nickel? Oof. I mean, you guys run the numbers. 78% of the snaps in the league are nickel. So nickel is a critical position, and not just versus Sean McVay's offense, versus every offense. You know, because at the end of the year, when you run the numbers, you're playing about 70% nickel snap. So that position's a starter on your team. And so it's a critical position, and as it is for our defense and every other defense in the league. So it's going to be important. We like the competition that we built there, and we like the guys that we'll be marching out there with on Sunday.
For a veteran defense, that's kind of an X factor, right? I mean, really
Yeah, you know,
proven spot.
well, you know, it's we got to be mindful, right? It's still one of 11 guys on the field, so it is one factor, but it's 1/11 of the factor. You know, there's still 10 other guys that can become X factors in a positive or negative way too, and that's the thing that we're trying to preach is being a great 11.
When you play chess with your kids, you don't let them win, do you?
No, we don't let them win anything. Now they beat me.